Good afternoon. I'm Steve Kresovich, and I serve as Director of the USAID Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Crop Improvement. I'm also the moderator of this session. Besides my overview, we'll also have 4 technical presentations given by key leaders of the program. Our Innovation Lab for Crop Improvement was established in September of 2019. It's a 5-year program funded at the base level of $25 million. We soon will have additional associate awards, either funded by the Bureau of Resilience and Food Security in Washington, D.C., or in-country programs. Our partners for the Innovation Lab include Cornell, Clemson, Colorado State, Kansas State, Cultural Practice, and Macquarie University. Compared to the scope and objectives of many of the other Feed the Future innovation labs, our work is a bit upstream, with an emphasis on both development of cutting-edge science and thoughtful delivery. It also is predominantly science and not commodity-based. Our mission is to equip network scientists and stakeholders with both the intellectual and operational resources to connect breeding efforts with demand, for better support of smallholder farmers, as well as an attempt to reduce malnutrition and hunger. Our focus is to support efforts addressing global food security in the broadest context. We are founded on the development and deployment of scientific insights and training, tools, technologies, and methods. Our goal is to listen to, learn from, and support national agricultural research institutes as they establish their own goals and drive advancement to breed resilient crop varieties. We believe that national programs play the central role in designing innovations that prioritize targets for their unique needs, and ultimately hope that this approach will be more sustainable and reliable. The target crops of the Innovation Lab for Crop Improvement include roots, tubers, and banana, legumes, excluding soybean and groundnut, all the types of millets, and sorghum. We have a broad range of crop mandates. With this broad range of responsibilities, many of our advances ultimately will be crop independent. That is, we hope to develop tools, technologies, and methods for all. This slide highlights a recent summary of our philosophy and activities. To emphasize, the scope of our innovation lab is broader than solely plant breeding. We take a transdisciplinary, systems-oriented view for engagement. As noted previously, we're also grassroots driven. That is, the directors of our International Centers of Innovation, which will be highlighted subsequently, are operational leaders of the program. The breadth of our crop improvement continuum addresses additional critical engagements, including resilience and risk management. That can be as affected by climate or economic conditions. We also strive for gender equity and engagement, looking for inclusion, youth participation, and ultimately integrating all these priorities with improved nutrition and food safety. Beyond development and deployment of scientific insights, tools, technologies, and methods, we're interested in advancing and translating research into a public good. Again, we address key changes affecting global food security. We strive for outputs and outcomes that support broader societal priorities in the 21st century. Our approach and continuum of activities are highlighted in this slide. First, we've identified and established a global network of experts. These experts come together to develop and deploy scientific insights, tools, technologies, and methods, driven to the goals and objectives of the regional leadership of the Centers of Innovation. From there, we work with additional partners to promote healthy crop improvement systems. So it's a systems approach, not just seeds or a new variety. And ultimately, the goal is to improve food security while prioritizing engagement with a focus on gender, youth, nutrition, and resilience. It's not a stepwise progression. Feedback occurs in and across all areas. Regional leadership is at the core of the program. The Innovation Lab for Crop Improvement has established a global network. We're slightly less than 2 years old, and despite the pandemic, we have collaborators across the globe. Note the groupings of complementary participants on the right. They're objective leaders, partners in country, a partnership committee made up of key advisors. We're predominantly focused on Latin America and the Caribbean, West Africa, and East Africa. And at present, people and/or activities of the Innovation Lab can be found in approximately 15 countries. Our Innovation Lab scientific support team includes individuals with a breadth of expertise and experiences, including agriculture, life, computational, and social sciences, as well as economics. Many of you are familiar with or have worked with people highlighted here. We strive to translate scientific advances into engagement and deployment. We assess success in outcomes, tangible outcomes. Among these people, 3 leaders will make presentations in the session, including Dr. Rubin, Dr. Abraham, and Dr. Robbins. Our key anchor programs are highlighted in this slide. We had intense competition for the selection of our International Centers of Innovation. Over 100 letters of intent representing about 30 countries were submitted. Reviews were conducted by over 20 scientists with diverse background. The Centers of Innovation are 3-year investments with about $1 million in total funding. Now I'd like to say a little bit about each of these Centers of Innovation. First of all, CACIA, the Central American and Caribbean Crop Improvement Alliance, led by Roberto Camacho and Gael Pressois. Their focus will be on common bean, sorghum, and sweet potato. In West Africa, the Crop Improvement, Crop Innovation in West Africa, led by Gito Kane, which will focus on sorghum, pearl millets, and cowpea. They also have partners in Burkina Faso and Niger. From there we move to Uganda with Scovia Adekini, who works for Naseri in Uganda. Her center will focus on finger millets and sorghums, and her partners include Tanzania and Kenya. And lastly, Michael Chipetta at Lilongwe University will lead the Center of Innovation for Crop Improvement for East and Southern Africa, with a focus being on cowpea. Each Center of Innovation is unique, but together they create a complementary team based on their opportunities and challenges within their regions, focus crops, and research, agriculture, social, and economic systems. One of the directors of the Centers of Innovation, Gito Kane, will speak in this session as well. Looking to the future of the Innovation Lab for Crop Improvement, we intend to continue our efforts to support Centers of Innovation priorities, building intellectual and operational capacities in country, a continual development and deployment of scientific insights, tools, technologies, and methods. And we intend to integrate cross-cutting themes, including gender, youth, equity, engagement, resilience, in all our trainings of all aspects of our programs. And lastly, I'd like to spend a few minutes on identifying and establishing new partnerships. First of all, we intend to link with minority-serving institutions in the United States. And I'm pleased to announce the addition of Dr. LaVon Esters at Purdue to lead our initiative connecting the Innovation Lab with minority-serving institutions. We also intend to integrate with Seed Systems Delivery. I'm also pleased to announce the addition of Seed Systems Group, led by Joe DeVries, most recently having worked with the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, to focus on seed systems activities in Haiti and Senegal. We also intend to build collaboratively with private sector partners. This engagement will include in-country focus, ranging from seed companies through computational/IT groups. For more detailed information on our Innovation Lab activities, go to ilci.cornell.edu. As session moderator, I'd now like to introduce our speakers. First, Deborah Rubin, Co-Director of Cultural Practices, LLC. Matthew Abraham, Assistant Director of Tata Cornell Institute for Food and Agriculture at Cornell. Kelly Robbins, Assistant Professor in the School of Integrative Plant Sciences, the Section of Plant Breeding and Genetics at Cornell. And Jito Kane, Group Leader and Molecular Biologist for ISRA of CROS in Senegal. They will make their presentations. You will provide questions for the speakers in the chat box, and following all the presentations, we'll have a session where all the questions are addressed. Thanks for your time, and I'm looking forward to a great session. Thank you.